It has been on Scandal. It's our weekly show of three guys talking about scandal from a male perspective in Washington, D.C. Superman, Troy Johnson is there. In New York is Mark Clark. And I'm Tony Scott in St. Louis. And people always wonder, like, how do y'all do that? How y'all able to do that?
The magic of the internet.
In pricey software. So there you go. So the episode was called The Testimony of Diego Munoz. And Munoz. And it's
come on, Tony, it's your people. Come on.
so I stammered, man.
Troy, would you tell Tony how to say Munoz, please?
Munoz.
See, Tony, This would happen at the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce meeting years ago.
Yes, they escorted me out. I'm sad to say.
We'll just call him Diego. You got that part right.
Yeah, I got that part right, man. So we find out who exactly Diego is in this episode, which is surprising, yet it kind of wasn't in a way. But we begin with the vice president nominee, Senator Susan Ross. They pump her up. You know, the Oval Office, they're telling her this is how this is going to go. This is going to be great. You're going to be a great vice president. They put her in front of the press. She's hitting it out of the park, and then bam, reality set in, and she imploded. She just kind of like blew the hell. She locked up and blew the hell up, man.
She had a Bill Cosby
and I think,
I was like, damn, where'd that come from?
I think those of us who work in the public, you know, in front of microphones, I think we've all been down that road, though.
Yeah, I've never seen a road like that, though. That's a road less traveled.
You know what? I respected her because she reminded me of me because, you know, I'm a conspiracy theory. So all the BS that you have to produce when you're in public office, and that when you mix the BS with truth, which was her daughter, it just kind of hit her like, this is some, you know, this is crazy. And so then that's what happens when it hits you.
Yeah. Her mind went off script and it was a wrap.
Ooh, boy, it was ugly.
And then after that, man, it's interesting though, the dynamic of when something goes left like that, how the spinsters, man, how they work to get back on message, man, and what they do, the tricks that they employ and stuff like that. It's crazy. But Olivia stops the landlord. The landlord is at her next door neighbor Lois's house where Rose is. And the landlord's telling Rose that, you know what, we're changing the locks. She hasn't paid her rent. You know, what we've all faced from time to time in our life. You know, the rent's not paid, you got to go, right?
Yeah.
So the good news is Marla Gibbs is back.
Yes.
You know? And she tells, because Olivia stops the landlord and says, well, actually, she's got 5 days. From time you serve these papers, she's got 5 days, so you can't change the locks today. And then the landlord guy puts his head down and walks away and stuff. But Rose tells Olivia that Lois always told her, if you're ever in trouble, go talk to the black lady across the hall. Because Rose wants to know where Lois is, right? Lois has just disappeared, you know? And
the irony of that conversation was Olivia told her white friends, don't ever knock on the old black lady's door across the hall. So it's weird, whatever you do, don't ever knock on the old black lady's door.
So Olivia makes the trip back to her office, OPA, and she wants the team to find Lois or Lois's body because obviously Olivia knows what happened to Lois because Lois's dead carcass was laying on top of her in a body bag. You know?
Olivia was wearing the new scent by Fabergé.
By Lois J.
Lois.
You know?
Loisonia.
By Fabergé. Loisonia.
Kind of fragrance that's dead today and it's here now. Lois.
So the Attorney General, David Rosen, apparently he has this thing he does once a year where he lets people just come and talk to him, come and tell them, you know, what's up, what's in their world, what do they want him to look into? And I was actually told a long time ago, before this show was even a thought, that actually used to be a thing. Like back in the day when the world was a lot safer, they would have people
stop by.
Were allowed to come up and talk and actually talk to the president and you know, and just say see what's up, what's on your mind.
Yeah.
I think they cut that out after Lincoln, though. So
I was going to say, if you saw the movie Lincoln, that was in one of the scenes.
Yeah. So a woman wants to talk to David Rosen about a super secret spy agency called B613. That gets David Rosen's attention.
Yes. David was going through the motions. What?
Yeah. Spy agency. Yeah. Get that all the time. Yeah. B613. Yeah. Wait, what? It's one of those things. And it's Huck's wife. It's Kim. You know, and she's got files.
Yes.
Told you that garage at that wasn't working. It wasn't gonna work. She got files, and that got his attention. That got his undivided attention. You know, when she pulled out the files, and that he just kind of one of those kinds of things. Meantime, back to Senator Ross. The press is raking her over the coals for that laugh. She goes on Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel tells her it's the #1 ringtone on iTunes. Because that snort / laugh. And they're having that field day with her, so they're trying to, they're gonna have to fix this. Have you all ever done that? Have you ever laughed and then had a snort on it?
I'm, I'm not a snorter. I'm not. Have you?
Accidentally. I mean.
Yeah.
No, that's never happened to me.
I have snorted, and I have a tendency to hit you with the sometimes. The smedley, and then
not the smedley.
Smedley. Oh man.
See.
Yes.
The whiskey laugh.
That's right.
That's a sign you've been drinking too much whiskey.
That's a sign your soul is leaving your body through your mouth.
Is that what that is?
That's really what it means.
Oh, man. So David goes over to OPA. He tells Jake and Huck about the B613 files that the woman had. And Jake says, well, we're going to have to kill her. We're going to have to kill Diego Mun. So we're going to have to do all that. And then Huck says, well, that's me. I'm Diego. I'm the guy she's talking about.
Kind of anticlimactic there. Because
it was.
Huck was not going to say anything. He was looking crazy, like, oh, snap, they're on to me.
Yeah. Well, I think he came clean when Jake says, we're going to have to start killing people up in here.
Right.
So, we're going to start killing people, So he came clean that way because he just wanted to
and Jake
make it
actually
right.
quoted a rap song and said, I am a killer, so don't push me. So he was
So meantime, Abby, the White House hires Abby's boyfriend Leo, who's really a political spinster, is what he does. He's a coach. He does all this stuff, and he's working with Senator Susan Ross to get back on point for the vice president nomination, and he's wearing her down. He won't even let her go pee.
a little bit much.
You always the pee's usually the sure way out for a couple of minutes. When you say I gotta pee, everything usually stops, right?
Gotta go.
You gotta go, right? Because you don't want no accident. Because who's gonna clean that up, right?
It's the White House, baby.
But he said no. And it got to be too much, and she quits. She says, "I don't want to be the VP. I quit. I'm out. It's not about the will of the people," she says.
Well, the funny part was she don't want to be the vice. She doesn't want to be the vice president. That was the only angle that I was kind of like, she doesn't want to be the vice president. So
yeah, she said that last week.
Yeah, it's like so it's kind of like
I don't want to be the.
She did it anyway, though.
I don't panties.
I don't want to be the vice president. So, so Huck goes to his wife Kim and explains that you just don't go around talking about B613, which he should have had this talk with her when he dropped the files off at her crib. Yeah. You just don't drop off a box of files and say read them and then call me and not expect her to go to somebody based on what's in those files. Oh my God! I mean, come on, what did you expect her to do?
He was desperate, Tony. He was trying to get his love back, man.
But you gotta tell her, don't talk to read these, but don't talk to anybody about these but me. I mean, come on.
Come on. You can't have all those rules when you're dealing with love, trying to get your love back.
Yeah, okay.
The funny thing is, though, she thinks she knows how to handle this. She thinks I know what to do about this. I'm moving forward with my plan. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna push this through to the Attorney General, and it's like, you don't really want to do that.
And at this moment, he started to feel like a married guy again. No control of your life. Sorry.
Oh no, man! I still think he should have had that conversation last season when he left the files at her place.
Tony, she wasn't talking to him. There wasn't no conversation.
But I mean, all he has to say before if you read these files and then don't talk to anybody, call me.
Okay, great.
And when she read the files, she would have understood that once she read the files, but he never said that.
She said, "Okay, crazy man."
Basically, yeah, really. So Leo and Abby argue about whether Susan Ross is fit to be VP. You know, and it's funny because they get into bed and he puts his mouthpiece in, his mouth guard that he sleeps with, and then it's assumed that he's going to sleep. Once you put that in, there's no more conversation for the night, right? And she was like, "Are you serious?" I was like, "Are they married? How'd they know that move?" So they start talking about.
He did say, he was like, "Okay, we're gonna talk now." I've been trying to talk all damn night. She had no response to that though, did she?
No, she didn't have. But
But you ain't going to sleep.
Yeah.
Until we had this talk.
Yeah. Because a lot of times though, when you make your point with a woman, your woman, they clam up. They don't say anything. They just like, it's like, come on, man, say something.
Yeah, that is.
They just got to put their head down. Don't say a damn thing. So, but anyway, Abby fires her boyfriend. She fires him. Who gets fired in their drawers, man? Who does that happen to, man? But it happened. So back to Rose, man. Marla Gibbs' character. Rose knows Lois is gone, but she wants to know what happened. She knows because Lois left her credit cards, her ID, all her wallet, her purse was left behind. Mm-hmm. And then Olivia pushes a little bit, and then she finds out that apparently Rose and Lois were a little bit more than just friends. They were in fact lovers, and had been lovers since they were teenagers. But then when Lois's parents found out, they sent her away. They kind of lost contact. Lois got married, and then when her husband died, many years later, they reconnected. And Olivia tells her, "I'm going to do my very best to bring Lois back to bring Lois back to you. I'm going to do my very best to do that." And the thing is that Olivia knows everything except where the body is.
Yeah,
and said nothing.
Yeah, I
thought she was going to soften, but I wanted to first of all shout out Shonda. I think this is the first older black lady gay scene ever. They get a prop. Also, okay. I want to shout her out because if you notice, you look closely in the wallet, there was a Golden Corral gold card, which is very popular with older gay black women. Very accurate. And my only beef was I thought they should have dropped a song when she was reminiscing about the love that she misses, man.
Like what? What song would you have chosen?
I'm leaving it alone. I don't know. What do you guys think? I was thinking what would have been a good song.
I don't know.
The love I lost. I don't know.
I don't know. On my mind.
I don't know, man. That's a good one.
UNITY.
Leave a comment down below if you have an idea of what song should have played in that scene.
Yes.
UNITY. Come on.
Let us know what.
Who you calling a bitch? My girlfriend.
Man. So Olivia, as it turns out, walks around her apartment with a gun in one hand.
And a dirty couch.
and a toothbrush in the other. And it's like, and that couch. Olivia because Olivia still is traumatized about what she went through.
Yes.
All right, the whole kidnapping thing. And to me, she needs to get rid of everything, move, and start over. I mean, if you can afford to do that, which obviously she can, and if she couldn't, the people she knows would help her.
Yeah.
Tony, we've seen this before. Mm-mm. She gets into a funk, and she, we thought she was okay because last week was such a traumatic episode. She was able to pull it together and make it happen. But there are these times where she just kind of is just in a fog for an episode or two. People are waiting for her to do something. She's not quite on the mark. She's just, and here we are again. Now, for a good reason. I mean, she was kidnapped. I mean,
right.
Right.
But if you can get away, I mean, every time she sees that spot on that couch pillow, it takes her. It's a trigger.
Well,
and it should, and it obviously it has to be a trigger.
Obviously, she didn't have a couch in college. Everybody knows you just flip the pillow over. Use the other side. Come on.
Everybody knows that.
Everybody knows that.
Especially a white couch.
Come on now.
That's the equivalent of when your cousin came to visit at the wrong time. It's okay, girl. It's all right. It's good. Don't worry about it. We got it.
Right. Apparently,
just flip it over.
Yeah, just flip the damn thing over.
See, it's okay, girl. It's fine. No, we know you ain't gonna swim with us today. I know. We know. It's okay. Next time.
You can put the sunscreen on.
And next time you just hang out with us. Don't even get in the water.
Right. That's why that plastic got on the couch in the first place.
See?
Yeah. Should have had the plastic.
Across the hallway?
Plenty of plastic.
Wouldn't have been a problem.
No blood on her couch. Yep. That's why nobody knows where she is. House clean.
Roast didn't see anything.
Yeah. Well, so Abby goes to Olivia to help get Susan Ross to the vice president confirmation hearings, and she does it. She talks to Susan, and Susan goes before the congressional hearings, and she hit it out of the park. You know, her answer when they said, "Well, you know, you're one catastrophe away from being the president. How do we know?" You know, this, and this. And she was like, you don't. Which was actually refreshing, you know? When you think about it, it was actually refreshing because she was like, you don't know. But I surround myself with people who do know. They keep me informed. They advise me on what the best course of action is, and then I'll decide.
You'll be seeing that again. Hillary's team was watching, taking notes on that section.
Well, yeah, but, you know.
Was the brother supposed to be Elijah? If so, Elijah was happy. Like, okay, got a little younger guy for me.
Oh man!
So, but now you got to get the Senate. The Senate has got a problem with Senator Susan Ross. But Olivia doesn't think they have a problem with Senator Ross. She says they have a problem with Fitz, which makes a lot of sense when you think about it, right? And then she used the line that's going to be used in political races, in real political races from here to eternity. You made a mockery of democracy.
Yeah.
That'll be the one. That'll be on bumper stickers. It'll have the president's last name, and then it'll say that not just the President Obama, but future presidents. The opposition will always have. That'll be on stickers and T-shirts and buttons and everything. Just wait for it.
Well, but Tony, what people don't know is that came from the rap song "Check Yourself Before You Wreck Yourself." It's a line in that song.
Yeah, okay.
It fits right in, too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's going to be used forever, man.
Ice Cube wrote that.
Yeah.
Making a mockery of democracy.
but
Troy, you would have done that better, Troy. Would you please?
No, I'm going to let that one stand, man.
Okay.
That was good.
Okay.
Good to go.
So Olivia tells Fitz, you need to go to the Hill and you need to beg them to forgive you. And at first he's like, get out, I ain't begging nobody for that. I'm the president, man. When you're the president, you got built-in swag. Even Bush had swag, you know.
Yeah.
And what's that?
I give it. Yeah.
Yeah. Huck and Quinn have found Lois's body in a state park.
Damn.
Patapsco State Park. That's where I go bike ride. Could have helped out on this case.
I thought they made it Patapsco Arena. I thought Reggie Reg might have had something to do with it.
No.
Oh,
No. But, apparently they found it using the serial number that was on. What did she have? A hip replacement? Knee replacement? What was it?
A hip replacement.
It's kind of scary when you think that is. I just had a weird thought. It's just like, wow, that's kind of scary to have a body part that has a number on it.
But it helped in this case.
That Jesus didn't make. Only one man knows your number. Only one man knows your number. Well, two actually. Johns Hopkins and Jesus.
Oh boy,
man, come on. Huck gets a taste of what his family life should have been when he's sitting at dinner with Javi and Kim, and that feels kind of good on him.
Yeah, it was nice.
It was nice, right?
That looked like the last time. He's like, So this is what it was like.
About to go again.
Yeah, right, because all this is the last time this is going to happen.
Yep. And Kim's proud of Huck for agreeing to testify. You know, and I think that makes him feel good because, you know, now I'm starting to get this love back. Not like maybe not necessarily love, but, you know, starting to get this, you know, people starting to believe me and believe in me. You know, he hadn't had that for a long time. You know, Huck tells Quinn to tell Charlie to destroy the B613 files that Charlie has. But then Quinn's like, wait a minute. I haven't said anything. I haven't asked a damn question. I haven't asked anything. Y'all got to tell me what's going on. You know? Cause I mean, I can see that. If someone's asking you to give somebody a message and you don't even know what the message is, it's like, well, why am I going to say that? You know, I mean, I think it's a natural reaction to want to know.
Did he want her to ask? I mean, you know, Huck kind of tiptoed around her, you know, like, ask me something. You know?
Yeah. I got a secret. I want to tell somebody.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, you know, while testifying, Huck can't remember anything. All of a sudden, I don't remember. I don't know what he's talking about. So after David, you know, threatens to have Kim disbarred, all of a sudden Huck's like, I remember. I remember the hole. He described, you know, he said when he was in the hole, he had to use his imagination to cope. And the way he delivered that, man, that was, you know, there's always a weekly soliloquy on some angle. This was the one, right? I mean, he even had David crying.
It was good, man. It was
great.
Yeah.
It was the way he described what he went through and how he had to run in his mind. He was, you know, in parks and he was up in the mountains and he was building things and, you know, writing letters and leaving them up on the bookshelf and all that. But he was always in the hole. But in his mind, this is what he had. This was his coping mechanism. Which, wow, you think about that for a second. It's like, man, he was stuck in this little bitty hole where he probably couldn't even sit up.
But he went to 157 countries.
Yeah, in his mind, he had to do that.
His wife's tears got me. I was cool. We're looking at her. I was like, oh, Lord. Lord, won't he do it? Oh, Lord.
But I think it was an eye-opener for David. I mean, David knows about B613. He knows more than most about B613. And then to find out what B613 did to Huck was like, wow. You know, and I think it fired him up because he has a conversation with Jake that we'll get into coming up. But the president goes to the Senate, you know, and he begs. And Vice President Susan Ross, she gets confirmed. Senator Ross gets confirmed. So exactly how Olivia said it was going to play out, it played out.
It's still going to be a problem because, you know, when she's not laughing, when she's not guffawing, she's smart.
She is, but I mean,
she's going to be, I think, more formidable for Mellie than they've totally underestimated this woman.
I think you're right. I think you're right. But I also thought about what kind of deals did he have to cut with certain politicians to get this done? You know, because that's really all it's about up there is like, you know, the president needs your vote. Okay, what can you do for me in my state? You know? Right. So we'll see what happens with that. But Kim kisses Huck goodnight, you know, at her front door. And he felt good about that. You could see that little smile on his face as he walked away. That was kind of nice, man. That, you know,
good for Huck finally, man. Damn.
The ice has clearly melted. But I thought him and Quinn were going to be a couple because I didn't think he was going to be able to go back to that life.
Oh, you know, he's about that family life, yo.
Yeah. So Olivia finally has to have the conversation with Rose and tell her that Lois was found in a park in Georgetown on a bench. And that she went peacefully.
She switched the story up completely.
Oh, she had to, though. I mean, what's she going to tell her? Yeah, she got shot in the chest, and they laid her on top of me in a body bag as they moved me to a destination where I was going to be auctioned off. Who was going to buy that? You know, who's going to buy that one, right?
Well, the first story, she was going to say she was found at Berry Farms by John Thompson.
Oh,
but they switched it around. Alonzo Mourning and John Thompson found her at Berry Farms.
Oh man,
on a bench after a pickup game. Because we know she was the first player in the WNBA.
Oh boy.
Oh man, that's.
She didn't have her story right though. She did have that kind of look to kind of what Mark was saying. She was like, she was on a bench in Georgetown. And Rose was like, you bullshitting me? She did have that look like Georgetown.
Yeah. Well, but my Marlon Gibbs always has that look, so it's tough. You can't really question. Anything you say to Marlon Gibbs may be questions.
Man.
What you saying? I wasn't at home. I was at the store.
Man, Rose was like, "Why'd you have to leave me now?" Oh, low.
Oh, that was
just
sad.
Brokenhearted, man. Brokenhearted, man. So finally, Olivia gets rid of the couch pillow, man. She decides, I'm not gonna flip it over. I'm getting rid of it.
Yeah.
It's a wrap. I got money. I don't need to flip it over. I got money.
Put it outside. Put it outside. Put it outside of my door. It's like trash in a hotel room.
Then she has popcorn, wine, and she puts her gun down on the coffee table. This woman clearly, and certainly she has a right to be traumatized, but man, walking around your own place, first of all, you got 900 locks on your front door, you know?
Yeah.
I'm surprised. You remember years ago when they made the club for doors?
Yes.
Remember that? Why didn't she have that, man? I mean, she's got 900 locks. That club remember that they had that on TV, the club for the door for the front door. No, they put a hole in the floor, and then you would put this like a pipe thing in there, and then people couldn't open the door because that pipe was in the way. It was entrenched into the floor. You don't remember that?
I do.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I also remember, speaking of the club, I remember, you ever see news stations? They would, sometimes they want to figure out, like in today's time, how a hacker would get into your computer, right? So back in the day, when people were buying the club for their car, of course they go to a person who's been convicted of car theft. And like, well, what do you think about the club? This is supposed to be, the ultimate car protection system. So this guy gets a hacksaw, cuts through the steering wheel. Here's your club. Like, damn. Nobody thought about that, did you?
Thought about that one. Or like in my mom's case, we had everything on the front door. They just broke a window. So. Take it out the window. Okay, damn. Door secure. Locked. Not moving.
We weren't going to use the door anyway.
Right. Don't we come through the windows?
Man. So Jake tells David to shut down the B613 investigation. And David says, no, we're not going to do that. We're going after the bad guys. He's fired up from, Huck made him cry. So now he's ready. We're going after the bad guys. And then Jake has to remind him, we're the bad guys.
Hello.
Over here. Hello. Hello, mijo. We're the bad guys.
Yes.
We're the bad guys. Snap out of it.
Man. Jake has been the voice of reason so many times in this series.
Yeah.
Though played by Olivia many times, he's the voice of reason most of the time.
He's the voice of reason, but he's still Ed McMahon.
Yes. And what's funny, I love how Fitz gets mad on stuff that don't matter most of the time.
Yeah.
What? I'm not begging. Okay. Calm down, Fitz. Gonna put that head vein away?
Yeah.
Head vein.
Not the head vein, man.
The head vein on you.
All right, tell me what I missed, man.
You missed Olivia. When they were at the funeral home with Rose, and she was telling that live a story. She also had a bunch of flashbacks about her life and where she was thinking about Fitz, thinking about Huck, or not Huck, thinking about
Jake. Yeah.
And then she cooked up her lie.
Yeah.
I was, it's kind of like, okay, why is is it because here's a person who's lost someone and, the center of their life and I'm out here walking around in my house with a gun, my life is crazy. Seems like she had that kind of moment,
When she's reflecting on that, because she was caught in her memory and she's, the sound of the river is like, okay, wait a minute. That you don't want to smell or even hear anything in DC when it comes to water. Just
Yeah.
It was like what? But yeah, I like that. I love the. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tony. It'll come back.
No, I was going to say, this lie that Olivia told Rose, who amongst us though would not have tried to soften that somehow like Olivia did? You know, if you can get away with telling an elderly woman that the love of her life was brutally murdered, if you can explain it away in another fashion that you know it's going to be hard anyway, but just to soften it, she went peacefully. She probably just sat down on the bench and just died. And, you know, rather than have to tell her the woman was shot point blank range in the chest on the couch at her apartment. I mean, who amongst us would not have lied about that, man?
Tony,
we all would have told that lie.
Well, Tony, it's very interesting you say that. Me and the wife had this conversation just the other day. And it's funny. It's like, I think there are definitely two schools of thought when it comes to stuff like that. You know, I was going to say the other way, Tony. I thought that Olivia was going to share truth because the truth, in a sense, is her way to finally recover herself.
Yeah.
And she trusted this woman. This woman had shared a personal story with her. So I thought she was going to
reward her with the truth.
Reward her with the truth, because you you deserve to know the truth for this person that you spent your whole life with. That's what, or you spent your whole life to kind of be with. So that was interesting on that take. But that is interesting, Tony. You're right. I think it's probably more towards, like you said, most people just want to think of peaceful thoughts and be kind of go off into the sunset. Then there's other group probably like me who I want to know what happened. You know. So it's interesting.
But I mean, when you're an elderly, and you're far from elderly, obviously. Well, but when you're elderly, and you've lost, you know, you lost the love of your life early on, and then you reconnected late in life. Do you really want to? Do you really need to know that she was brutally murdered? You don't need to know that, do you? I mean, do you really need to know that?
I just want to know the truth. That's all. I don't like to. You know, who am I, man? This is me. Troy, where do you fall, Troy?
I was going to say there's the X factor is that, you know, a murder, someone who's murdered, you know, the truth will come out at some point. And I think, to me, in a situation like that, lying about how somebody died, you know, could you imagine, I mean, it's not in the arc of the storyline as far as we know, but can you imagine if Rose found out the real truth? And how devastated she would be.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, I think you got to do better than just come up with a story about she died on a bench in Georgetown. You know, like,
but you know, the other side of that, Troy, is that, like, you know,
I didn't see Jim Vance talk about that on the news.
I was just going to say, the other thing is, who's to say that Rose didn't believe a word she said?
Yeah,
but appreciates the fact that Olivia was trying to soften it for her. Could have been that too. I mean, right. But then again, I mean, but, you know, like,
but an old lady would have told, baby, that was nice. I know you lying to me. She would have told her, I understand. That's nice. I understand.
And what's the big ass stain in your couch in your apartment?
That's right.
And if you're gonna eat that popcorn and drink that wine, you need a mint, girl, because that is gonna be wrong. Everybody knows that wine and popcorn make bad breath.
She did let Rose into the apartment.
Yeah.
And now that we're laughing about this, did she let her sit down on the couch on the stain?
Oh no.
I'm not sure.
No. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know.
Oh Lord, girl, I hope I didn't do nothing to your couch. You know, I have a weak pelvic floor, so I don't know.
Stop. Just stop. God. Oh man, that's the episode. The testimony of Diego Mun.
A physical or something, man?
let me give props to my wife for she gave me that joke.
Damn.
She told me a story about a friend, and sorry. That one stayed with me. You know, I knew that would get you though.
That ice is getting really thin over there, man.
Yeah. Oh man,
winter is almost over.
Man, the testimony of Diego Mun. It was the episode though, so thanks for checking us out. Give it a thumbs up if you don't mind. Our review or subscribing to the channel helps. So that means a lot. People were posting last week about where can we contribute. So I posted links in it. I'll post it again.
Awesome.
Thanks, Mark, for that idea. So that was cool.
Tony, keep it up. We're at bed. Money. Give us money.
Well, yeah.
A little something, man. Please.
Something, you know. So that's appreciated. Somebody actually became a patron of ours, man, for $2.99 a month.
Hey, man, if NPR can do it, so can we.
Yes. Yes. Right.
Yeah.
We need your help.
Please.
Be a subscriber.
So,
come on.
You know what, Tony?
That'd be
Also,
great.
why don't you put a poll up there, Tony, too, if they want us to do Men on Empire? Because I know a lot of people are asking us, man.
Mark cussed me out earlier, man, because he called, what do he call us, old school
Radio guys.
Yeah.
We had a conversation and we just missed the boat. The boat just went on past us. Like,
Well, but I mean, we didn't miss it. We just, it's hard to get 3 men's schedules together to do 2 shows a week. If we move it to 3 shows a week, it's pretty tough. I mean, I would hate to like commit to it and then we couldn't do it because
you're right.
You're right. I'm just saying. So and then brother don't know when his cable's gonna be off anymore. So it's one of those things, man. And you could say you could go somewhere and get free Wi-Fi. Well, yeah, but when you're the hub, you need all this,
The hub, Tony. You need the hub. You gotta have.
You need the speed of a strong internet signal to get this done, and I'm not gonna get that at a coffee shop. So
Public library.
Yeah. Anyway, so thanks for watching. Like I said, a thumbs up and a subscribing to the channel is free to do. And if you, of course, want to be a paying patron of ours, you can go to Patreon, patreon.com/Tony Scott Media and pledge $2.99 a month. That would be very welcome. So, all right. Thanks so much again for watching. In New York is Mark Clark. In Washington, D.C. is Troy Johnson. I'm Tony Scott in St. Louis, and we'll see you next time for Men on Scandal.